Coping with COVID. Updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. It's brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC. Healthy people, healthy communities. In it together and the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council, presenting Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday on Coping with COVID. The City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Services. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their lives. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Services at agapects.com. And Palmetto Media Connections, connecting media and communities together. Coping with COVID, brought to you by SCDHEC. In it together, the Diabetes Advisory Council, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connections.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Hey there, and happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us on Coping with Tre Tailor. Today, we're coping with Black History Month. Those doing it on purpose, for purpose, the why, so to speak. Karen Alexander Banks founded the Auntie Karen Foundation to empower, enlighten, and educate through the arts. We'll find out why she left a very successful career 20 years ago to start the nonprofit. Kay, thank you so much for joining us, beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And TiffanyJ, a protege of Karen, is a singer, graphic artist, and also has an anti-bullying initiative, the Why for Her. Tiffany, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Ladies, thank you. We look forward to the conversation coming up next on Coping with Tre Tailor. I'm Tre Tailor. But first, I want to update you on the missing 74-year-old man we told you about yesterday. John Larden was found safe last night. Also, a recall on 3 popular brands of infant formula. Bacteria has been found in the powdered form of Similac, Elecare, and Alimentum with expiration dates beginning April 2022. For more information, you can see the link on the screen. Email similarrecall.com. For an updated list of COVID vaccines, COVID testing, and flu shots, visit scdheck.gov. Now, beginning next month, DHEC will streamline many of those services because of the availability of at-home tests. So be sure to check the site for updated information. Also, check the scroll at the bottom of the screen throughout the show. Several financial resources are also available nationwide for rent, utilities, plus funeral reimbursements. All of that information will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show. So please check it out, post and share so we can get the message to the masses. We're coping today with Black History Month, those doing it on purpose, for purpose, and you are watching Coping with Tre Tailor. Hey, we are streaming live on the Tailor Made Production page on Facebook. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow. Not only will you get notifications as to when to watch Coping with Tre Tailor. Now, Coping with COVID airs Wednesday. It's sponsored by In It Together SC and the Diabetes Advisory Council. And then Coping airs on Wednesday, Thursday, and of course, Fun Day Monday with George Wallace. We're also streaming live on the YouTube page. Now, there you can find past episodes of Coping with COVID and Coping with Tre Tailor. Please check it out. We also have a presence on Instagram and also on Twitter. Once again, we're coping today with Black History Month, those doing it on purpose, for purpose, the why, so to speak. Karen Alexander Banks has been doing just that for some 20 years. She left a very successful corporate position to launch the foundation that empowers, enlightens, and educates through the arts. Karen, thank you again so much for joining us today on Coping.
Well, I always enjoy hanging out with you, Tre. So thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. Virtually and in person, not so much in person anymore. But listen, Karen, what is your why?
I lived in Charleston, and growing up, I didn't realize until I was an adult that Spoleto brought in all these amazing jazz legends like Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan. And so being a person who really loves the arts, I wanted to make sure that the kids had an opportunity to see these legends. They might not know who they are, but to see these legends while they were still living.
Right.
So we started the Legends of Concert series to do just that. And we were blessed probably in 2017 to get a grant from the State Department to also document stories of historic African Americans. And we documented their stories. And Trey, since then, four of them have died. So just to be able to share those stories with the next generation was my why.
Right. Want to say hi to Mitchell Peace Joy Jen. She says, "Good afternoon." Lamar Spoil says hi to all. Like, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. So, Karen, Auntie Karen Foundation is a multi-pronged nonprofit. Tell us how it started and what the focuses are now.
So the focus was really asking God for purpose and direction and stepping out on faith. And it sounds like, it's kind of like Olivia the octopus with all those 8 arms, but they all focus on empowering, enlightening, and educating through the arts. And so what we've done is we've created programs centered on that. Our Young Entrepreneurs Conference showcases kids with their own businesses. Our Legends of Concert series showcases the contributions that people have made to the music world of African descent. Our Artists in the School programs exposes kids to these amazing artists. So they all centered around the one thing, which is empowering, enlightening, and educating through the arts.
Right. So, Olivia the octopus. Now, that was the first, I guess, puppet, so to speak.
Yeah, Olivia, I used to teach. And so when I taught school, I would write music for my kids. And Olivia the Octopus grew out of a song that I wrote back in 1984 called the Octopus Song. And back in 2000, Trey, you remember when we used to sing together in the band? I found
Yeah.
my old notebook, and Byron and I put that to music, and the character was birthed out of that one song.
Right, right. And that's a picture of you and Olivia. And then Gordon. Gordon is an overweight pomegranate, is it?
He's a purple Jamaican,
Purple
yeah.
Jamaican,
That's
yeah.
pre-diabetic.
Yeah, yeah. Now, with Gordon, there's a whole initiative around Gordon too, right? Gordon's
Yes.
Garden.
Gordon is a part of our Jamaican Yam family, and their whole mission is physical, mental, and spiritual health for kids. And Gordon just happens to be overweight and discovers he's pre-diabetic. So we have Gordon's discovery where he discovers he's pre-diabetic, and then we also have a video that shows kids what to do if you discover that you're pre-diabetic.
Wow, wow. So you've got Gordon, you've got Olivia. As you said, you've got Artists in Schools. Tell us a little bit about how the Artists in Schools program works.
We have seasoned artists teaching their skill sets to kids. And this is our oldest program. It started back in 2003, working in an after school setting. And with funding cuts, the first thing really to go are the arts. And
Yeah.
so we provide a service where we provide artists in the schools to kind of fill that void. And we went from after school to summer camps to now having artists work full time.
That is awesome. I want to say hi to Alex Wright. He's joining us. Hey, Alex, thank you so much for joining us. We're talking to Karen Alexander, and you're watching Coping with Tre Tailor. And we're talking to people who are doing Black History Month on purpose, for purpose. And Karen Alexander with the Auntie Karen Foundation is joining us today. She's been telling us about her nonprofit organization. We're actually looking at her website now and all of the different programs that they have. The Young Entrepreneurs Conference, as you mentioned briefly, Karen, is another one of those initiatives, and that happens in October, correct?
Yes. And I'm really excited about the past young entrepreneurs that are doing great things. I mean, every time I either turn the TV on
Yeah, there
or
they are.
look at the news, I'm seeing Sergio Hudson, who's out there doing great things. Stephen Love, who won an Emmy. Sheldon Ferguson, I was watching the Wonder Years and saw him on the Wonder Years playing his
Yeah.
guitar. And then coming up, I believe Paul Jones is going to be with Anthony Hamilton. He's now playing with that band. So just being able to give those talented young people an opportunity to showcase their talents when they were younger, and now seeing them sharing it with the world is just it's well worth everything
Right.
that we've been doing.
Now, one of your events specifically, and I guess that's your phone, Karen. One of your events specifically is done during Black History Month. Tell us about that and why that's important to you, was important to you to do.
Sure, Legends of our mission with Legends of was to showcase the contributions that people of African descent made to the arts, particularly music. The Legends of concert, it's really the culminating activity. We do other outreach programs. For example, as a former teacher, I feel it's important for the next generation to be exposed to these legends. So it's mandatory that we present a master class. So kids from across the state get a chance to have an intimate session. Well, it used to be intimate. Now there's about 500 kids from across the
Right,
state
right.
having a session with these music legends. And so that part is very important. But also we have our Free Black History program. It's been on hiatus since COVID, but that gives us a chance to showcase various artists from our city and our state.
We're talking to Karen Alexander with the Auntie Karen Foundation. Now, Karen,
And
the
friends,
concert's coming.
Trey still hasn't recognized that I'm Karen
Oh,
Alexander
I'm
Banks.
sorry. I thought I was saying that. Karen Alexander Banks. You are Karen Alexander Banks because you got married 2 years ago. Was it
2
2
years
years?
ago, yes.
2 years ago. All right, Karen Alexander Banks. Okay, so look, I've known you as Karen Alexander for 20 years. So, but shout out to Kevin Banks. So listen, so the concert and masterclass are next Friday and next Thursday. Can young people, still attend the masterclass?
The master class is by invitation only, and unfortunately, we have limited seating this year, so we don't have any extra space for the master class. But they are more than welcome to attend the concert, which is going to be Friday night, featuring both Jeffrey Osborne and Lila Hathaway.
Right. Jeffrey Osborne, Layla Hathaway next Friday at the Koger Center. And of course, proceeds benefit all of the amazing things that the Auntie Karen Foundation is doing. Now, Karen, how can people get involved and support the foundation?
Well, we can always use donations. We've been extremely blessed with volunteers working all of our events. And Trey, I am honored to say that you have been a part of our team, gosh, at least 18 of the 20 years, if
Yeah,
not
thank you.
more. And then you can spread the word. We have social media sites that you can share with your folks. You can like us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And if you know of any artist, you can recommend them to us as well.
Right. Karen Alexander Banks joins us with the Auntie Karen Foundation. Karen, anything else that you can share? I want to ask you before you leave, uh, if someone is interested, advice for those who want to step out on faith and follow their dreams for purpose. I think COVID has pushed a lot of people to kind of rethink their lives, rethink their careers, and start doing something that they've always wanted to do. What would your take be, your advice, your insight?
Well, I have my faith principles. I took the word faith and made an acronym. F is find a purpose or a goal. A is ask for help. Uh, Believe it or not, there are people that are out there that want to see you succeed. I is invest in your mind. T is take time to plan and think big. And H is help others. And so those are the things that have sustained me for 20, now going on 21 years. It's
Wow.
just really asking God for purpose and direction, following that voice, and then believing that it doesn't matter how it's going to get done, just knowing that it's going to happen.
Right, right. Marvell Williams Mendenhall says hello. Alex Wright is asking, Trey, you used to sing in the band. Yes, I did. Karen, it's interesting talking to people, I guess, that are younger than us that don't know that we had a past life. But yes, Alex, I did. Karen and I were in a very popular band in the city. So yeah, but anyway, and thank you, Karen, for allowing me to be a part of the foundation. Has been a blessing and a privilege, and often frustrating, but it's all good, girl, because it's all for the good. It's all for the good.
It's all a part of that purpose. I mean, you
It
told me
is.
you wanted to sing, and I'm like,
Yeah,
come on.
you did.
And
You
so,
did.
yeah,
All right, Karen Alexander Banks with the Auntie Karen Foundation. Don't forget the Legends of Concert series. You can see her information on the screen. And of course, if you want to donate, if you want to support, if you want more information on whether it be the Young Entrepreneurs Conference, the Artists in the School, obviously the Legends of Concert series, which is happening next Friday at the Koger Center. You can see the information on the screen. And as Karen said, if you think that this is something that you'd like to do, step out on faith and do your thing, you can follow her faith principles. Karen, thank you so much for joining us today on Coping. I appreciate you, girl, more than you would ever know.
Well, thank you, Trey. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. Coming up, a protege of Karen's, TiffanyJ, shares her why next on Coping with Tre Tailor. We'll be right back.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday lives. But when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow? Won't turn on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall. 803-351-5821. 803-351-5821.
The Comet gives me a reliable source of transportation.
It's very convenient to me, and they have wonderful drivers.
It's clean, and it builds community. It's fun to meet people.
It makes me feel like really independent. It's just fun.
It's always going to be there, and it gets me everywhere I need to go.
We try to ride every single day. Comedy is our livelihood.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Aiken-Cochran. As Miss America, I know that taking care of yourself is important. Part of taking care of your health is knowing if you're at risk of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is serious and puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. 90% of South Carolinians who have it don't know they have it. Visit inittogethersc.org. Take an online test to find out your risk and join a diabetes prevention program. Brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
Hey there, I'm Tre Tailor, and you are watching Coping with Tre Tailor. We are streaming live on the Tailor Made production page. That's the home of Coping with Tre Tailor. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow and get notifications as to when we go live, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and a first Monday, Fun Day Monday with George Wallace at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we're also streaming live on YouTube. Please go over there and hit the subscribe button. Also, while you're there, you can watch past episodes of Coping with Tre Tailor and Coping with COVID, brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council and the In It Together SC and SCDHEC. We also have a presence on Instagram and on Twitter. We're coping with people doing Black History Month on purpose, for purpose today. And singer, graphic artist, and children's advocate TiffanyJ joins us. Hey there, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan, girl. I really am a big fan of you. And I just think I am so impressed with your tenacity and the fact that you were able to do so many things. I want to talk about that a little bit later,
Okay.
but you are so busy. You are a self-taught graphic artist, right?
I am.
Yourself.
I did. I was actually pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer science. So that's what my bachelor's is in. And in my final year, we were learning website coding. And I was just intrigued about how to make or beautify web pages on the front without using code. So I kind of Googled graphic design and yeah.
Wow. Your family's in the house. Sierra says, hey, Tre and Tiffany, and Wilma Folks Brown says, hey, Tiffany Joyce Walter.
Hello, mom and sister.
I know. So you started the graphics and then you became so proficient. What made you think, okay, I can make this into a business? Because you were doing it when it wasn't really popular. It's very popular now.
Right. So I think I actually legally started my business. This week is actually my 13th anniversary.
Right.
But I started it my senior year in college, and I started doing flyers in Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. Believe it or not, that's how I was making my initial flyers. They are like dumb ugly if I look at them today.
Well, they were some of the first flyers, girl. Come on.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was working at Scanner actually as an application developer, and I was just tired of it. So I had to talk with my mom. She let me move back home in order to pursue graphic design full time. And that's been 2011. So for almost 11 years, I've been mainly solely self-employed.
Wow, that's big, Tiffany. You were, longtime entrepreneur. I talked to a lot of like Karen and some other people who have been entrepreneurs a long time. It's popular now. It's a big thing to be an entrepreneur. And shout out to entrepreneurs because, I'm one too. But it says something about someone who can step out on faith before it's a popular thing to do.
Well, I appreciate those sentiments. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really. So Tiffany Youngblood says, hey, some of your Team 7 folks are here. Dion, who was on the show yesterday, also says, you're a beast now. Who would have known? We know Dion. So listen, so you're also a singer. You started in church like most people, but I love that you have gone beyond that. You recorded. And then here's the thing that I really love that I really wanted to talk about is the singograms.
Okay.
How have you figured out how to expand your brand?
So I was actually introduced to singograms in high school. I was on the chorus at Richland Northeast, and we actually did Valentine's Day singograms for student crushes. And we would show up to a classroom with some candy and sing a quick song for whatever student bought a singogram for $1. So after that, I was in a group called Eternal Voices, and we started doing it for Mother's Day. And from that point, I just kind of revived it as a solo artist, TiffanyJ, and people booked me for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, special occasions. I had a Just Because book maybe like 3 years ago, and that same couple has booked me 2 more times since then. And the last time they booked me was last month for their wedding. It was like a pop-up wedding singogram. So it's really popular, but I think what I'm great at is innovating a skill or a talent that many have, but I use it in a way that people aren't thinking that can be monetized. So I absolutely love doing singograms. Book me for a singogram any day of the week. My calendar is, is wide open. So I love them.
Tiffany, Mitchell Peace Joy Jen wants to know how you get your clients. Thank you, Mitchell, for your question.
It depends on which business we're talking about. Graphics, I promote my specials when I have them, but that's I like to call it my teenage baby. I don't have to promote that business as much as I would for anything newer. So I have consistent clientele. For instance, this morning I do all the obituaries for Maya's Mortuary, and this morning I had to do 3 before I left home. So I have consistent clientele. Miss Tre Tailor is a client, has been for a while. I appreciate the opportunity to do the Coping with Tre Tailor logo.
Yeah, you did the logo.
Yeah, so
and I'm not the client.
He's not, but
I'm not.
But
you've been so patient, and I have to tell you this, and I tell people all the time, Tiffany is very patient. You're very easy to work with.
Thank you. So many people say I'm so hard to work with. And I think that's just people that don't want to grow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm mastering patience a bit. But yeah, I enjoy being able to bring my clients' visions to life and not put myself as an artist in whatever I do graphic wise, because there's a difference between art and design. And what I do in TJ's Elements is design.
Right.
Yeah.
But you are an artist.
I am an artist.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then people have it's kind of like a hairdresser, like your own hair, but the hairdresser knows it professionally. So you have to have a melding of minds together. So
exactly.
Yeah. We're talking to TiffanyJ and on Coping with Tre Tailor. We're talking about folks who do Black History Month on purpose, for purpose. She's a singer, a graphic artist, and a children's advocate. Let's see a little bit about that before we talk to her about it.
Y'all super beauty, y'all super beauty, y'all super beauty, y'all super beauty, y'all.
We travel the country delivering what I call pep talks. We deliver pep talks that introduce our love or our devotion to the topics of anti-bullying, self-love, and confidence. And it's very important that we deliver these in person so that there is a tangible reception to our messages.
So one of the things I want you to learn from Super Beauty is how to be a self-lover.
When I was a child, I would have loved something like Super Beauty. At 12 years old, I actually attempted to commit suicide. And my experience with low self-esteem and depression showed me how it feels to not feel okay. But I'm understanding now that it's okay to not be okay, but we have to learn how to express that. I just want kids especially to find themselves a lot earlier than I had the opportunity to. And Super Beauty is just that character whose presence embodies what I want people to embody for themselves.
Go, Super Beauty, go, Super Beauty, go. Go, Super Beauty, go, Super Beauty, go!
Tiffany, I love that. I love that. I love
hadn't
that.
seen that in a while, so that was good to watch.
Sierra says, please go like and share. Super Beauty. Lamar Spoil says, loving Super Beauty. Dion says, create. Do you think that's your real why?
Absolutely. When people ask me, I'm currently in a next level fast track business program, and when people ask me what's my legacy business, is definitely Super Beauty Incorporated. I don't plan to do TJ's Elements forever. TJ's Elements is what feeds me and pays my bills. But Super Beauty is definitely my legacy business because of the main reason it was created. Is basically to give kids what I didn't have when I was growing up. So most definitely.
Yeah. So if people want to, so do you go to schools? I guess you go to organizations, things like that, where people can book you to talk to kids?
Yes. So, and it's funny that this show used to be called Coping with COVID because COVID actually depressed me. When we were hit with the pandemic, it snatched away all of my booking opportunities for that year. And I didn't give up, but I just sunk.
Yeah.
But today, actually, I went back to my very first school since before pandemic to read Super Beauty Saves the Day. So I hadn't posted about it yet because I've been busy today, but I went to Forest Lake this morning to read, and that was a good experience. So people can book me and reach out. I am superbeauty@gmail.com or contact at IamTiffanyJ.com and learn more about the books, the mascot, the dolls. We will actually be in the Black History Parade next Saturday as well. So you can come check us out there.
Awesome. You can see all of the information for Tiffany J on the screen. Mitchell wanted to know, do you have Super Beauty dolls for sale?
I do. If you would contact me, I am very low in number of the Super Beauty dolls. We have to re-up soon, but I have plenty of Handsome Hero dolls, or toys as I call them. But yes, we have both. So just reach out to me.
Right, because you've got Super Beauty, which is the girl, and then Handsome Hero, which is the boy, right?
Yes. Yeah. And he was launched mainly because when I launched Super Beauty and I was going to schools with the mascot, boys were like coming and hugging and high-fiving just as much as girls were.
Right.
So my dad was like, well, you should do a boy character and you should call him either Homeboy Hero or Handsome Hero. So my dad named Handsome Hero, by the way. So that's what I did.
Right. Sierra says Super Beauty and Handsome Hero dolls and puzzles. Sierra is doing the marketing right now.
Sierra is definitely my A1 when it comes to everything I need. Sierra is my number one supporter. Yes.
Yeah, she is. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you so much. And Dion want to know how would we book Super Beauty? I think you know how to contact Tiffany, Dion. So.
Yeah, I think you do.
Tiffany, so before we leave, I do want to ask you the same thing I asked Karen. I mean, again, because you are a multi-entrepreneur, very busy, got a lot going on. So what do you say to people who also want to do it for the why? You know, you work in your regular job, but you really feel like, and as I said with Kay, a lot of people went through that with COVID, but you think there's something more that you're supposed to do.
Well, for me, my why is obviously dealing with artistic expression. I think what I do and everything that I do, because I've learned how to uncover my calling through that, I am helping other people find their individuality and uncover their callings through my artistic expression. So, first things first, you got to have a conversation with God.
Yeah.
You got to see where He's leading you. I tell people today, because like you said earlier, entrepreneurship is kind of a fad now.
It
If
is.
you got a job and it's good and you don't hate your job, use that job as an investor to fund whatever you're trying to launch out and do. Plan it. I didn't have a plan. Like I jumped out and my mama said you can move back home. I went back home for, a while. But if you have a job that's not making you sick, that's not hurting you no kind of way, keep that job, use that job to fund your business, because you're going to spend more money than you're going to make in the first 5 years at least.
Yeah.
So just have a talk with God, find out what your passion is seriously, not just because somebody else is doing it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Absolutely, girl. That's good stuff right there. TiffanyJ with TJ Elements, Super Beauty, Singograms, music, all kind of great things. You can see her contact information on the screen. We're going to leave out with another video highlighting Tiffany with her music. But Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for doing Black history on purpose, for a purpose. We appreciate you, beautiful.
All the songs I've ever written, and I've written a lot. FYI.
I love working with her. She's definitely does great studio work, great live work. She's just an all-out grinder.
Soulbird Session now live at the Warehouse features only my music.
I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. This has been an amazing journey. Like I said, I'm looking forward to what's next, man.
I present a soulful approach to melodic art.
All right, another great show today on Coping with Tre Tailor. Listen, if you have a story or initiative that could help someone cope, email booking@copingwithtretailer.com. The information should be scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope, email copingwithtretailer@gmail.com. We would love for you to be a proud sponsor, just like In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. They sponsored Coping with COVID on Wednesday. Javis Tax Services, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office, Attorney Byron Gibson. They sponsor No Justice, No Peace on the second Thursday of the month. Palmetto Media Connections, the Comet Bus Systems, Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall, Black Expo, and Agape Counseling and Training Services. Listen, coming up next week on Wellness Wednesday, we are going to talk about funerals, funeral homes, funeral services, end of life. Are you ready? How to handle with stress. We'll talk about body donations, cremations. We're going to talk about funerals and how it affects you and what you need to do. That's coming up next week. We're also going to be live at the Legends of Concert Series Masterclass. You heard Karen Alexander Banks talking about that. We will be live there as we were last year. All of that and so much more coming up next on Coping with Tre Tailor. As always, I leave you the reading. I've been reading this Conversations with God from Cheryl Mims Williams with Agape Counseling and Training Center. And this is just a beautiful journal of some of her writings and some scriptures. And we've been reading it every day this year. Today is short and sweet. It just says, I'm directing you even when you go in the wrong direction. I'm still with you, gently guiding you back to my path. My child, spend more time with me, listening to me, and talking less. That's Conversations with God from Cheryl Mims Williams from Agape Counseling and Training Services. I'm Tre Tailor. Hey, thank you so much again for joining us this week. We appreciate you. We wish you peace, abundant blessings. God bless. Take care. Be careful. Get your vaccine if you haven't already. And don't forget, you still need to wear your mask over your nose and under your chin. Have a good weekend.
peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping, learning the way that we thrive all together. Coping, finding out what's real. Coping, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal. Coping with stress, coping with strife, bringing hope for success in improving our life. Coping beyond hoping to do more than survive, ways to live a healthy life. Coping and promoting, learning what you can do. 6 days to a better you. Coping, find peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping. Coping, find peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping, learning the way that we thrive all together. Coping, finding out what's real. Coping, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal. Coping with stress, coping with strife, bringing hope for success in improving our life. Coping beyond hoping to do more than survive, ways to live a healthy life. Coping and promoting, learning what you can do. 6 days to a better you. Coping, find peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping.